Chosen one, heaven pressed pause on your timeline tonight. The noise of the world fades for a reason. You are being set apart for a divine conversation that will shift everything. You felt the tension in your spirit all week, that quiet unrest you couldn't explain. That is not coincidence. That is divine interference. Heaven has interrupted your rhythm because something sacred is about to begin. You are not ordinary. You are not another face lost in the crowd. You are a marked soul, chosen before the foundation of the earth to stand as light in a world wrapped in shadow. Every delay you faced was never a denial, it was divine choreography. The waiting was preparation. The silence was strategy. And now, the wind of heaven begins to move again, whispering your name into destiny's corridor. Listen carefully. Chosen one. When God is about to do something significant, He often begins with stillness. Before resurrection, there was a tomb. Before the promise, there was silence. Tonight is your tomb-turning moment, the place where buried dreams begin to breathe again. You might not see it yet, but in the unseen, doors are unlocking. Angels are aligning assignments. What you thought was over is only being repositioned for glory. The Spirit whispers, do not run from the pause. The pause is holy ground. The pause is heaven's surgery room. You cannot rush divine timing, and tonight, time itself bows to the will of God concerning you. Everything in your life that felt delayed, misunderstood, or overlooked is suddenly aligning in your favor. As the prophet wrote in the scroll of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3, "For the vision is for an appointed time. Though it tarry, wait, it will surely come." You must hear this, your waiting was never wasted. Every tear watered the soil of your next season. Every night of confusion carved space for wisdom. Every closed door protected you from premature exposure. You are not late, you are right on heaven's schedule. Do not let weariness make you doubt what God spoke. The enemy's goal is to exhaust you before the promise manifests. He wants you to mistake silence for absence. But God is never absent in silence. He is simply strategizing. What feels like stillness on earth is movement in the spirit. So tonight, breathe. Lay every fear before Him. Surrender your timeline. Let heaven rewrite your rhythm. For when Friday comes, it will not come quietly. The doors that refuse to move will swing open. The relationships that drained you will dissolve. The calling you kept hidden out of fear will rise like a lion within you. Chosen one, your destiny is no longer waiting for your permission, it's waiting for your obedience. This is not the time to look back or question your worth. You have carried too much to quit now. The light within you terrifies darkness itself. You were never made to fit in. You were designed to disrupt. Hear me clearly, the divine pause you are in tonight is not punishment, it is prophecy. Heaven is saying, stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. When everything else feels uncertain, plant your feet in faith, for faith is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move despite it. As you read these words, and something in you is stirring a confirmation that this moment was meant for you. You could have scrolled past. You could have ignored this. But heaven arrested your attention because this message carries your name. This is your alignment moment. Before this night ends, take a sacred action. Lift your voice in gratitude. Speak life into your atmosphere. Comment below, I am ready for my divine shift. This declaration is not for algorithmic attention. It is a prophetic act of agreement. Heaven listens when faith speaks. And when you do not leave without subscribing. Not for numbers, but for connection. Stay aligned with the flow of these divine words. For each message builds upon the next, like share. And let your circle feel the same awakening that just touched you. Someone connected to you needs this same reminder. God is not finished with them either. You have reached the threshold of transformation. Friday is not just a day, it is a destiny date. Heaven circled it long before you were born. You are walking into the unfolding of prophecy. Keep your heart steady, your spirit expectant, and your faith unshakable. The night may feel heavy, but joy is forming in the womb of dawn. What begins tonight will echo through the rest of your story. So hold your ground. Chosen one. Breathe in courage. Step into obedience. The pause is over. The promise is calling your name. Prophetic number to comment 777. The air around you begins to change. Chosen one. You can sense it. Something unseen is stirring, moving quietly like wind before a storm. This is the whisper that begins the shaking. The unseen breath that sets divine motion into your atmosphere. You feel it in your chest, in that unexplainable heaviness, in that sudden awareness that something greater than you is leaning close. Heaven is not silent, it is whispering. Do not mistake the whisper for weakness. When God chooses to move, He often begins softly, because what is born in stillness cannot be stolen by noise. There is a divine conversation happening above your understanding, and you are the subject of it. The unseen realms are shifting to fulfill what has been written about you. Every disappointment, every betrayal, every closed door was not a failure, it was preparation for alignment. Chosen one. You have been asking questions that heaven is now answering. You have asked, why does it feel like everything is falling apart? But the Spirit responds, because I am building something that cannot be shaken. When God rebuilds your foundation, He must first remove what is unstable. The whisper you hear tonight is the sound of reconstruction. It is the voice of new beginnings. The winds that once carried your pain now carry your purpose. You are standing in a divine current, and if you will stay still enough to listen, you will hear instructions that change everything. God does not shout over chaos, He calms it with His whisper. This is why you feel peace and pressure at the same time. Peace because His presence is near, pressure because His hand is molding you. As Jesus Himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew chapter 7 verse 24, everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man. The whisper tonight is not for information, it is for transformation. God is not merely speaking to your mind, He is addressing your spirit. He is strengthening the parts of you that have grown weary, reminding you that every word He has spoken will come to pass. You are learning to recognize His voice not in the thunder, not in the earthquake, but in the gentle sound that cuts through the noise. There is a moment when the invisible becomes undeniable, when faith becomes sight. You are approaching that moment. Heaven's activity has increased around you. Angels move with purpose. Assignments are being exchanged, and the timeline of your life is being rewritten in real time. What once seemed delayed is now accelerated. The whisper is not only a signal, it is an invitation. Chosen one. The Lord is inviting you into deeper obedience. To follow the whisper requires trust, because it will not always make sense. It will tell you to move when logic says stay, to forgive when pain says hold on, to believe when everything looks impossible. But obedience to the whisper brings favor that no earthly system can manufacture. The enemy, however, knows what happens when you respond to that voice. That is why distractions rise louder the moment heaven begins to speak. Noise, confusion, and doubt are sent to drown out that gentle call. Guard your ears, guard your spirit, and guard your peace. You are learning the sacred art of hearing beyond the natural. This whisper is awakening parts of you that have been asleep for too long. Creativity, compassion, courage, all are being reignited. Your dreams are being restored, your discernment sharpened, your spirit aligned. The things that once made you afraid now make you alert. You are learning that every shaking is an announcement that heaven is near. There is a rhythm to the way God moves. He speaks softly before he moves suddenly. And when he moves, it is swift, decisive, unstoppable. Do not despise the small sound, for it carries eternal weight. A whisper from heaven carries more authority than the roar of an empire. So let the whisper guide you. Let it become your compass when the road ahead feels uncertain. The storm will come, but you will not be moved. The voice that called you is the same voice that commands the winds. Chosen one. The whisper that begins tonight will soon become a wind, and the wind will become a wave that carries you into divine timing. Pay attention. Be still. For what begins as a whisper will soon turn into a declaration that changes everything. You have carried battles no one else could see. Chosen one. Quiet wars fought in the silence of your mind, storms hidden behind steady smiles. Heaven has watched every moment. Every night you whispered prayers you weren't sure anyone heard. Not one tear has been lost to the ground. They've all been gathered, measured, and remembered. The same God who counts the stars has counted your size. You thought some seasons were punishment, but they were really preservation. God hid you, not because you were forgotten, but because you were being fortified. He allowed you to walk through fires that refined you without consuming you. The weight you carried was evidence of your calling. And though you didn't understand, heaven was preparing you for visibility through invisibility. Chosen one. The reason you've been misunderstood is because you carry revelation others are not yet ready to receive. The oil on your life is costly. It comes from crushing. Every disappointment was pressing out purity. Every betrayal purified your motives. Every delay refined your faith. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 29, verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Heaven's eyes have never left you. Even when you strayed, grace followed. Even when you doubted, mercy remained. Every chapter you regret is still being used in the divine narrative of redemption. The pain that once silenced you will soon become the story that frees others. Nothing in your past is wasted. God recycles everything. You've asked, why me? But the better question is, why not me? Who else could carry what you carried and still stand? Who else could bleed and still bless? Who else could be broken and still believe? You are the living proof that survival is a prophecy. Now heaven speaks directly. Stop calling your scars shame. They are signatures of survival. You were never meant to blend in with the crowd. You were meant to carry evidence of endurance. The things that tried to bury you only ended up planting you deeper in faith. Chosen one. The shaking you felt wasn't the end, it was the unveiling. God has been clearing away the debris of what was never meant for you. Friendships fell away, opportunities vanished, and doors closed, not because you were unworthy, but because you were being repositioned. What was once painful separation was actually divine subtraction to make space for expansion. Do not despise this in-between place. The hallway between old and new is narrow, but necessary. You are transitioning from hidden battles to visible victories. Heaven is preparing to display you not for your glory, but for His. So lift your head, even if it still aches. Lift your voice, even if it still trembles. The same God who brought you through the valley is about to bring you into the mountaintop of manifestation. You will understand why you had to walk the hard road when you stand on the other side of deliverance. You are not disqualified because of your struggle. You are distinguished because of it. The anointing you carry comes from the crushing you survived. The fire you walk through now makes you unafraid of heat. You are no longer who you were. Something within you has shifted permanently. And now, heaven invites you to make a declaration. Right here, in this sacred moment, type the words, "I hear you." Don't overthink it. Those 3 words are your agreement with heaven's plan. It's more than a comment, it's a covenant. When you write it, you are signaling to the unseen realm that you are done running, done doubting, done hiding. You are acknowledging that you recognize the voice calling your name. Angels take note when obedience speaks. After you declare it, pause for a moment. Feel the shift within you. The atmosphere around you responds when your spirit aligns with truth. Those words, simple yet powerful, carry spiritual authority. They open the door for heaven to move unhindered in your life. Chosen one, you have been through too much to turn back now. Your endurance has earned heaven's attention. Your survival has become a weapon. You are not being punished, you are being promoted. Every wound is turning into wisdom, and every test is becoming testimony. The hidden battles you fought have qualified you for visible favor. Heaven is about to publicly validate what you endured privately. So stand still, breathe deep, and let gratitude fill your heart. You are closer to breakthrough than you think. Your story is not over, it's only beginning. The night prepared you for dawn, and the dawn will reveal what the dark could not hide. The same God who watched you in the struggle will soon crown you in victory. The battles were real, but so is your anointing. There are moments. Chosen one, when heaven marks a day long before it arrives on earth, a divine appointment written in eternal ink, hidden within the folds of ordinary time. This coming Friday is one of those moments. You may think it is just another day, but heaven has circled it, layered it with meaning, and filled it with divine intent. The shift that has been whispered about, the alignment that has been unfolding Friday, is its appointed unveiling. You may not yet understand the weight of what is approaching, but your spirit feels it. There is a sense of holy anticipation rising, a restlessness that is not anxiety but prophecy. When God marks a date, everything connected to you begins to move in rhythm with that timing. People are shifted, opportunities rearranged, paths cleared, and doors unlocked, all to ensure you are standing in the right place at the right moment. The ancient words recorded in Romans chapter 8, verse 28. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose. You see, chosen one. Divine timing is not just about waiting, it is about readiness. The question is not whether God will fulfill his promise, but whether you will be ready to receive it when it arrives. This is why you have felt pressure lately, why your emotions have been stretched, why familiar things have suddenly become uncomfortable. Heaven is conditioning you to carry what's coming. Friday will not simply be a day of breakthrough, it will be a day of revelation. What was hidden will be revealed. What was delayed will accelerate. The spiritual fog that clouded your discernment will lift, and clarity will come rushing in. Heaven's spotlight will expose motives, align hearts, and illuminate paths you didn't even know existed. Do not be surprised if, as Friday draws near, certain connections fade or situations shift suddenly. It is not rejection, it is redirection. God is trimming away every unnecessary attachment so you can move unhindered. The pruning may sting, but it prepares the branch to bear more fruit. There is something sacred about divine dates. They are more than moments in time, they are spiritual intersections where your obedience meets God's orchestration. On those days, ordinary actions carry eternal consequence. A conversation, a prayer, a decision, a single step can open dimensions you never dreamed of. Chosen one. Heaven is aligning the elements around you for this appointed time. You may feel like nothing is happening, but in the unseen, everything is moving. Every delay you faced had a purpose. If the blessing had come earlier, you would not have been able to hold it. But now you are stronger, wiser, more disciplined, more surrendered. You have been shaped by the waiting, and that shaping has made you ready. The enemy will try to distract you this week, to pull your attention into worry, fear, or frustration. He knows that a distracted mind misses divine timing. Stay focused. Protect your peace. When you feel agitation rise, step back and remember this is not the time to react. It is the time to prepare. Friday is not about luck or coincidence. It is a collision of obedience and prophecy. Every prayer you whispered in exhaustion, every act of faith when no one was watching, every sacrifice made in silence, they are converging. Heaven is bringing completion to what was started. You may feel small in the scale of eternity, but your obedience is significant in the kingdom. God moves through those who listen, and you, chosen one, have listened. You have stayed when it was easier to run. You have believed when faith felt foolish. You have trusted when the evidence was invisible, and heaven has taken note. When Friday comes, you will not need to force anything. The doors will open naturally because they were never locked. They were simply waiting for the right key, the right moment, the right version of you. What is about to unfold will confirm everything heaven has whispered. And afterward, you will look back and realize it was never delay, it was design. The divine timeline was never behind, it was ahead. The God who governs galaxies has synchronized your story with his eternal plan. While nothing was wasted, not even the waiting, chosen one. Rest in that truth. You do not have to chase destiny, it is already moving toward you. Keep your spirit quiet, your heart steady, and your faith unwavering. When heaven marks a date, earth cannot cancel it. The world may try to interfere, but what is sealed in heaven must manifest on earth. So watch and wait, not with fear, but with expectation. For when heaven's calendar strikes your appointed day, everything will change. What has been hidden in the shadows will be brought into the light. The words spoken over your life will begin to manifest one by one. You will stand in awe, realizing that every struggle was building toward this. Chosen one. Before every great sunrise, there is always a final shadow. The moment where the night seems longest, right before light breaks through. You are standing in that threshold now. The enemy senses what heaven has prepared for you this Friday, and he is working overtime to cloud your clarity. Distraction is his most polished weapon. He doesn't need to destroy you if he can simply divert you. You've likely noticed it: sudden irritations, unexpected misunderstandings, emotions that come from nowhere. These are not coincidences, they are the smoke before breakthrough. The enemy stirs dust to make you think the road ahead is unclear. But do not be deceived. Chosen one. Dust does not mean darkness, it only means something powerful has begun to move. Heaven speaks through the words written in the book of Proverbs. Chapter 4, verse 25. Let your eyes look straight ahead. Fix your gaze directly before you. There it is, the key to surviving distraction direction. When your gaze is fixed on divine purpose, the noise loses its grip. You must decide what deserves your attention. Not every voice deserves your answer. Not every conflict deserves your energy. You are carrying something sacred, and not everyone is meant to understand it. Distraction comes dressed as opportunity. Sometimes it looks like a new path, a tempting offer, or a relationship that flatters but drains. The enemy knows how to disguise delay as destiny. That is why discernment is your greatest weapon. Stay still long enough to listen for the whisper behind the noise. Imagine a sailor in the middle of a storm. The waves roar, the wind howls, and visibility fades. Yet he does not panic. He listens for the hum of the compass beneath the chaos. That compass, small and steady, tells him which way is true north. Chosen one. The voice of the Spirit within you is that compass. Even when you cannot see the shore, His presence will point you home. This is not the moment to surrender your focus. Guard your heart from the trap of comparison, from scrolling through the highlights of others and questioning your own path. The seed of destiny grows underground before anyone can see it. Just because your fruit is not visible yet does not mean it is not forming. And now, pause and breathe. Look at how far you've come. There were moments when you wanted to give up, yet you're still here. That is evidence of divine preservation. Heaven has invested too much in you to let distraction destroy what obedience has built. But listen closely. Staying focused is not just about avoiding distraction. It is about feeding faith, the Word, the presence of God, the community that speaks life into you. These are your spiritual nutrients. Without them, the soul starves. That is why this space exists. Every word you receive here is a seed sown into your spirit. If these messages have spoken to you, if they've lifted you when the world felt heavy, then help this light reach others still wandering in the dark. You can do that. Simply share this message like someone passing a torch through a long hallway. One flame becomes 2, then 10, then 1,000. Click like not for vanity, but as an act of agreement, saying, yes, I receive this truth. Subscribe, not for numbers, but to stay anchored to a flow that feeds your faith. And if you feel led, consider planting a small seed of support, a donation that helps this river of words continue to flow. Think of it as pouring water into the well that refreshes your soul. Every drop matters, and every act of giving echoes in eternity. You are not supporting a screen, you are sustaining a stream of light that touches hearts you may never meet. Your generosity becomes an unseen sermon, proof that light still multiplies in a world hungry for hope. Chosen one. This is what heaven desires, that you remain steadfast, generous, and unshakable. Let your heart stay tender even in battle. When distraction comes, smile at it. It means you are close. The more violent the shaking, the nearer the breakthrough. Friday's dawn will not find you empty-handed. You will arrive with a focused heart, an anchored mind, and a spirit at peace. The storms will not steal your song. The noise will not silence your name. You are chosen for this moment, forged for this fight, destined for this unfolding. So lift your eyes once more toward the horizon. The light is coming, and it carries your name in its glow. Keep your gaze steady, your heart generous, and your spirit focused. You are almost there. Midnight has always carried mystery. Chosen one. It is the hour where endings and beginnings overlap, where darkness and dawn share the same sky. And tonight, heaven leans close to give you instructions for the days ahead. What you do between now and Friday will determine how wide the door opens when destiny knocks. This is not superstition. This is spiritual law. Obedience is the currency of acceleration. You have felt the pull, a gentle but persistent call to pause, to pray, to pay attention. That is no random feeling. It is heaven downloading blueprints. There are divine details being whispered into your spirit tonight, guidance, warnings, confirmations that will position you for the unfolding to come. This is not a time to act out of impulse. It is a time to move with precision. The voice of God thundered in the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verse 13. Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord, which he will show to you today. Stand still, this is heaven's instruction. Stillness is not weakness, it is strategy. When you pause long enough to listen, you allow God to speak louder than fear. When you still your thoughts, the noise of confusion loses its grip, and in that silence, divine clarity flows like oil over your heart. You are being asked to listen more deeply than you ever have before. The instructions you receive tonight will not come through thunder, but through whisper. The Spirit might nudge you to contact someone, to release something, to sow a seed, or to change direction in an area you've ignored. Don't question it. The smallest step of obedience tonight will unlock enormous favor by Friday. This is the night of realignment. Heaven is repositioning your steps. Relationships, resources, and revelations are being arranged with precision. What seems random is not random at all. Every divine instruction you obey creates a ripple that reaches farther than you imagine. Your yes tonight activates angels, aligns timelines, and adjusts atmospheres. Chosen one, think of obedience as a key. The right key doesn't need to struggle with a lock, it simply turns. You have been struggling to force certain doors, but tonight, heaven says stop pushing, start listening. The right instruction will open what strength could not. The night before destiny always feels strange. The air thickens. Time feels heavy. Your soul senses that something unseen is preparing to reveal itself. This is why many people give up right before breakthrough. They mistake the spiritual pressure for failure, not realizing that birth always feels like breaking before it becomes blessing. You have been faithful in obscurity, consistent when no one was watching, obedient when it cost you comfort. Heaven took note. The God who watches sparrows has recorded every sacrifice in the archives of eternity. You are not overlooked, you are observed. Now heaven asks one more thing: trust. Trust the silence. Trust the process. Trust that the one who began this work will finish it perfectly. Between now and Friday, follow every whisper, every tug in your heart. When you feel that holy unease, that is the Spirit saying, turn here. Chosen one, you are being trained for accuracy. A soldier cannot afford distraction in battle, and a prophet cannot afford delay in obedience. The reason this instruction feels weighty is because your assignment is holy. What you are stepping into will not just change your life, it will shift the lives of those attached to your destiny. When heaven gives instructions, delay is disobedience. Partial obedience is still rebellion. But when you respond immediately, you set spiritual laws in motion that work in your favor. Divine timing is sensitive to human response. Every act of faith you make sends movement through the unseen. So tonight, write it down, every impression, every thought that burns with peace. These are heaven's blueprints. You may not understand all of it now, but by Friday, clarity will come rushing in. And when that moment comes, you'll see how everything fit together: the pause, the pain, the preparation. It will all make sense. You will realize that God was never distant. He was detailed. Every delay, every denial, every detour was necessary to bring you here. Before this night ends, take one simple prophetic act, type the number 404 in the comments. This is not superstition, it is a symbol. The number 4 represents divine order, stability, and completion. When you type it, you're saying, I align myself with heaven's order. It's an act of agreement, a spiritual signature declaring that you choose obedience over chaos. Heaven hears even digital declarations of faith. When you write it, feel the weight lift from your chest. You are not lost. You are being led. The night is not your enemy. It is your classroom. Midnight is not the end, it is the turning of the page. Chosen one. Heaven has spoken. The rest is simple. Listen, obey, and trust. When Friday arrives, it will not surprise you, it will recognize you. For you have followed instruction, and obedience always invites manifestation. In the stillness after instruction comes the unseen movement. Chosen one. When you obey, heaven begins to rearrange everything around you, often quietly, without announcement or applause. You may not feel it, but the shift has already begun. What looked like delay yesterday is now divine reordering. The invisible hand of God is working behind the curtain of time, aligning what once seemed scattered. Your life is not falling apart, it is falling into place. The threads that appeared tangled are being woven into a pattern only heaven could design. Every connection, every conversation, every closed door, and every divine encounter is part of this orchestration. You are not drifting. You are being directed, according to what is revealed in the book of Psalms, chapter 37, verse 23. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delights in his way. There is an unseen hand shifting everything, now removing, restoring, replacing. You can almost sense the spiritual machinery turning, the quiet hum of heaven rearranging your surroundings. People who were meant to walk with you will begin to reappear. Those who were holding you back will begin to drift away. Don't resist the flow. What leaves you is not loss, it is liberation. When God starts to reorder your world, it can feel like chaos. Old comforts fade, familiar routines break, and plans you once trusted crumble. But remember, chosen one, demolition always comes before reconstruction. God cannot build something eternal on unstable foundations. So if you feel like the ground beneath you is shaking, it is only because heaven is building something that cannot be moved. Sometimes the rearrangement happens through quiet nudges, a new idea, an unexpected opportunity, a name that comes to mind. Other times it comes through disruption, things ending suddenly, paths closing abruptly. Either way, it is the same hand, the same purpose. The difference lies in your perspective. Faith teaches you to see divine fingerprints where fear sees only confusion. You have prayed for change, and now it is here. But change rarely looks like what we imagine. It rarely arrives wrapped in comfort or familiarity. Change often comes disguised as loss, as endings, as redirection. Yet every time you've had to release something, heaven has placed something greater in its place. This season is not random, it is a divine reshaping. God is not punishing you. He is positioning you. He is removing the counterfeit to make room for the authentic, shifting your circle so your purpose can breathe again. The people who misunderstood you could not go where you're headed. The rooms that once celebrated you have served their purpose. Now heaven prepares a new table. Chosen one. Don't mourn what is leaving, bless it. Thank God for what was, and step boldly into what will be. The rearrangement is uncomfortable, but it is also sacred. It is proof that heaven still has plans for you, that your story is not finished but being rewritten in higher ink. In this divine rearranging, you will find peace where confusion once lived. You will recognize the difference between what drains you and what fuels you. Your spirit will become sensitive to divine timing again. You will know when to move, when to rest, and when to wait. Do not fear unfamiliar paths. The same God who ordered your past is guiding your present. He is not improvising. He is implementing. What you call uncertainty is heaven's architecture unfolding one step at a time. Soon, the proof of this rearrangement will appear. A conversation will confirm it. A door will open that you didn't even knock on. A long-awaited answer will suddenly make sense. You will realize that God was not distant, He was deliberate. Sometimes you will look around and see that old things have disappeared, relationships, habits, even dreams that no longer serve your growth. Don't chase what heaven has released. You cannot walk into new seasons while dragging expired attachments. Let go with gratitude, not grief. Remember this, chosen one. The unseen hand of God is not cruel. It moves with purpose, precision, and love. Even when it removes something precious, it never leaves you empty-handed. It is always replacing what you lost with something eternal, something tailor-made for the next chapter. So walk in trust, not tension. The rearrangement is proof of progress. Heaven's hand is steady, and you are safe within its grasp, what you cannot control. God is already perfecting what you cannot fix. Heaven is already finishing. There are moments. Chosen one, when heaven decides to confirm what it has spoken, not through thunder, but through signs, symbols, and dreams. These are not coincidences. They are divine echoes that remind you you're not imagining this journey. You have likely noticed it already, certain numbers repeating, words you keep hearing, faces that appear in your thoughts unexpectedly. The veil between the natural and the spiritual has thinned, and God is speaking through subtle threads of reality. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, chapter 2, verse 9, "Eye has not seen, nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which God has prepared for them that love him." That is what is unfolding right now, things prepared long before you were aware of them. The alignment you sense is not a feeling, it is heaven whispering confirmation. Every dream, every sudden peace, every divine coincidence is the Spirit saying, keep going. You're on the right path. You may wake up with vivid images that linger. Perhaps you see yourself walking through a door, holding a torch, or standing in a storm that suddenly stills. These are not meaningless pictures. They are the language of heaven, a way for God to bypass your logic and speak directly to your spirit. Do not rush past them, record them, reflect on them, and pray over them. Prophetic dreams are like seeds. They grow as you steward them. Sometimes heaven confirms through repetition. You might see the same word, the same phrase, or the same number in unexpected places on clocks, receipts, screens, or license plates. Pay attention. When something begins to echo in your life, it is heaven's way of underlining truth. It is not superstition, it is synchronization. You may also notice a sensitivity growing in you. The things that once seemed random now feel purposeful. The conversations you have, the songs that play, even the interruptions that frustrate you all carry hints of divine dialogue. You are learning heaven's rhythm, learning to read between the lines of daily life. This awareness is a sign of spiritual maturity. You are no longer waiting for burning bushes. You recognize that the same God who spoke through fire can speak through the familiar. He can use a stranger's kindness, a line in a book, a memory from childhood, all as messengers. The more you listen, the more fluent you become in the language of confirmation. Chosen one. This is the reward of intimacy. Heaven trusts you with revelation. But with revelation comes responsibility. Not every dream is meant to be shared. Some are blueprints meant only for your prayer closet. Others are invitations to intercede. You must discern what to speak and what to seal. There is wisdom in quiet revelation. The confirmations that come now are not for entertainment, they are for establishment. They are heaven's way of strengthening your faith before Friday's unveiling. God knows your human heart needs reminders. That is why he sprinkles your path with signs, breadcrumbs of grace leading you toward destiny. But be careful not to chase the signs more than the source. Dreams and confirmations are beautiful, but they are not the destination, they are the compass. Your focus must remain on the one who sends them. When you seek the giver above the gift, your discernment stays pure. There will be moments when the confirmations come with startling clarity, a message spoken by a stranger that answers your prayer word for word, a sudden peace that floods your soul in the middle of chaos. These are divine fingerprints on your journey, reminders that you are not walking alone. And yet, there will also be silent seasons where heaven seems to stop sending signs. That silence is not abandonment, it is trust. It means you've grown strong enough to walk by faith, not by sight. God is saying, you already know my voice. You don't need another sign, you need to move. Chosen one, do not let doubt steal your wonder. Stay sensitive, stay soft, stay open. Heaven is still speaking, and every whisper carries your name. Before this Friday dawns, expect the confirmations to increase. They will come through dreams, through words, through the world around you. They will align perfectly, leaving no space for coincidence. You will feel a holy certainty, the kind that silences fear. When you see them, don't question, thank Him. Gratitude amplifies revelation. Every time you acknowledge His voice, you make space for more. The divine becomes clearer in hearts that honor it. You are entering a season where heaven's communication with you will become constant, a dialogue, not a monologue. It will not always be dramatic. Often it will be subtle, woven into the ordinary. But once you recognize it, you will never again feel abandoned. The air grows thick with purpose now. Chosen one. You can feel it, the resistance, the pull, the invisible battle between what was and what is about to be. Every time light is about to break forth, darkness makes its loudest noise. The closer you get to freedom, the heavier the chains seem to feel. But do not mistake the weight for defeat. It is simply the sound of deliverance approaching. You are confronting patterns older than you, cycles that have repeated through generations. Mindsets that tried to bury your potential before it ever bloomed. The struggle you face is not only yours, it is ancestral. You are the one chosen to break what others bowed to. This is not punishment, it is promotion. Heaven trusted you with this assignment because you carry the authority to end what enslaved your bloodline. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Isaiah, chapter 10, verse 27. His burden shall be taken from your shoulder, and his yoke shall be destroyed by anointing. That verse is your mirror tonight. Chosen one. The yoke, the invisible weight of limitation, is breaking, not by your strength, but by the anointing that rests on you. The same oil that marked kings now moves through your veins. Every lie that told you you'll never change is meeting the fire of heaven's truth. The spirit of delay, the one that kept you waiting, doubting, replaying old memories, is losing power. What once seemed impossible is suddenly within reach because grace has accelerated the timeline. You are stepping into divine release, chains that clinked quietly around your mind, your confidence, your finances, your purpose. They are snapping even as you read this. Chosen one, this breaking is both beautiful and brutal. Sometimes deliverance doesn't feel like dancing, it feels like tearing. The Spirit removes things you've grown attached to, habits, fears, even people, because they cannot cross into your next dimension. Let the breaking happen. What feels like loss is actually liberation. The battlefield right now is internal. Your mind will try to convince you that nothing is happening. That is the last deception before freedom. The enemy thrives in illusion, making you doubt the progress heaven already sees. But faith declares what it cannot yet feel. Even when your senses disagree, your spirit knows the chains are falling. Every sleepless night, every tear you prayed through, every moment you whispered God, when none of it has been wasted, heaven collects those cries as currency. They are being spent now, exchanged for strength, peace, and power. You are about to walk in ease where you once wrestled in agony. This is a holy moment, right here. As you breathe, the Spirit of God is confronting the forces that tried to limit your destiny. You can almost feel the tension lifting, the invisible weight dissolving. The air feels lighter because the atmosphere has shifted. Chosen one. Heaven's verdict has been spoken, no more delay. Every generational curse that said this runs in your family is encountering divine interruption. You are the first of a new kind, the one who will not repeat the story but rewrite it. The altar of limitation is crumbling under your obedience. It will not always feel like victory at first. Sometimes deliverance feels like disorientation because your spirit is adjusting to freedom. But trust the process. The cage is gone. You are learning how to stretch your wings. Now, take a deep breath and make this declaration of agreement. Write these words below: I am free. Do not underestimate those 3 words. They are not for display, they are warfare. When you type them, you are not just writing, you are announcing. You are serving notice to every stronghold that ever thought it could claim you. Heaven hears, and hell trembles when a chosen one declares freedom aloud. This act of agreement seals the breaking. It transforms this message from information into impartation. When you write it, imagine the chains falling, see the locks opening, the doors swinging wide. Let your spirit rejoice, even if your body still feels heavy. Faith always celebrates before sight catches up. Chosen one, the freedom you are stepping into will not end with you. It will flow through generations after you. Children yet unborn will walk in the light you fought for. Families will find healing because you dared to confront what others ignored. You are heaven's answer to generational pain. And soon, what once wounded you will become your weapon. The very thing that tried to destroy you will become the tool God uses to deliver others. You will speak, and the chains will break not just for you, but for all who hear your voice. So stand tall in this freedom. Do not look back at what broke. Bless it and move forward. The wilderness taught you endurance, but the promised land will teach you rest. What once oppressed you will now obey you. The day draws nearer. Chosen one. Friday, the moment heaven circled long before you even sensed its significance, approaches like a rising tide. Even now, something within you feels it. The atmosphere around you shifts in subtle ways. Time feels heavier, thoughts sharpen, and the pull of destiny grows stronger. Deep inside, you know this coming day is not ordinary. It is a covenant moment where divine timing intersects with divine obedience in one sacred collision. To the natural eye, Friday may appear just like any other day, but in the realm of the spirit, it is a doorway, a threshold, a hinge in your timeline where the old yields to the new. Heaven has prepared it with intention. Every hardship, every pause, every whispered prayer you breathed in exhaustion has been leading to this moment. Nothing was wasted. Everything has pointed here. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 1, verse 37, "For with God nothing shall be impossible." Hold that truth like a torch in your chest. It is the very authority that will carry you into Friday. Things you thought were immovable will begin to shift. What seemed locked will unlock effortlessly. Possibilities you abandoned will resurrect with new strength. This is the moment where the seeds you planted in faith, sometimes painfully, break through the soil of delay. Something heaven designed is approaching you, and nothing on earth can hinder it. But every covenant moment brings responsibility. You must be awake. You must be aligned. You must be attentive to the stirrings in your spirit. Imagine standing on a quiet shore as a ship approaches from the horizon. Long before you see it clearly, the waves begin to rise. The wind changes direction. You sense motion before it arrives. Friday is that ship. It carries answers, instructions, opportunities, healing, and revelation. But you must be present on the shore, present in focus, in faith, in readiness. The journey leading you here was never random. Every unsettling emotion, every inner stretching, every divine interruption was heaven clearing the way. The warfare you faced earlier this week was not a sign of defeat, it was the tremor before breakthrough. Resistance always increases when destiny draws near. Now pause, chosen one, and reflect on what has sustained you. These words pouring into your spirit are not entertainment, they are nourishment. They have been water in your desert and a lantern in your night. They have kept your soul awake when the world around you went numb. You didn't stumble here, you were guided. Every message has been a stepping stone leading you toward this covenant day. And if this well has refreshed you, if these words have held you when life felt heavy, let your gratitude become movement. Engage with this message not as an audience member, but as a living participant in what God is doing. When you press like, it is as if you are placing a lamp in the window, signaling that light still matters to you. When you share it, you become a lighthouse for someone drifting in the dark. When you subscribe, you anchor yourself to a source of ongoing strength so you never walk this path alone again. And if you feel the gentle tug to give, then give with purity. Think of it as pouring oil into a lamp that has lit your way. Your offering keeps the flame steady not just for you, but for countless others who are starving for hope. But the greatest gift you bring into Friday is not your support, it is your posture. A heart awakened, a spirit attentive, a soul yielded. Picture a field after rain, the soil softened and ready to receive. That is what God is shaping in you tonight, a readiness to embrace what He has ordained. When Friday arrives, you will feel something shift, like a lock clicking open, like a fog lifting from the horizon. You will sense the presence of destiny in the room with you. Old fears will lose their voice. Old doubts will quiet. A new courage will rise like dawn inside your chest. Chosen one, you are closer than you think. Stay aligned, stay grateful, stay listening. Heaven is preparing to meet you at the threshold of what you've been praying for. And when heaven steps into your timeline, nothing remains the same. Friday is approaching, carrying the impossible straight into your hands. There is a sacred weight settling upon you now, chosen one. A mantle, ancient and burning, descending quietly but unmistakably. You may not feel worthy of it, you may not feel ready, but heaven has chosen you not because you were the strongest, the loudest, or the most qualified, but because you were the one willing to listen, willing to endure, willing to rise again when life tried to bury you. That willingness has placed something upon your shoulders that few can carry, the mantle of the forerunner. This mantle is not loud, it is not glamorous, it is not about titles or applause. It is about assignment, a call to walk ahead of others, to carry light into places still wrapped in shadow, to clear paths many will walk after you. The weight you feel in this season is not pressure, it is purpose. It is the evidence that heaven trusts you with influence long before people recognize it. We are reminded through the writings of David in the book of Psalms, chapter 27, verse 1. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? This verse is more than comfort, it is commissioning. For those who carry the mantle of the forerunner must walk where others hesitate. They move through valleys without trembling, because their confidence is not in themselves but in the one who walks with them. You have been trained for this through seasons you thought would break you. Instead, they built you. They stripped away fear. You often wondered why your journey felt harder than others, why your battles came in waves, why you felt spiritual warfare in seasons when others seemed at peace. The answer is simple: forerunners fight battles early so others won't have to fight them later. Carrying this mantle means your footsteps matter. Every choice, every act of obedience, every moment of surrender becomes a torch you hold high for others still searching for direction. People you may never meet will walk more confidently because you decided to remain faithful. Your yes echoes farther than you imagine. A forerunner is also a builder. They construct foundations others will stand on. They intercede for futures they may never witness. They pray prayers that open doors years in advance. Heaven has entrusted you with this because you have proven one thing again and again when broken. You bend toward God, not away from Him. Chosen one. This mantle is not light, but it is an honor. It means heaven sees you as dependable. You are not fragile. You are not forgotten. You are chosen to shift atmospheres, to break cycles, to carry revelation that others are not yet ready to receive. Look at your life the way you sense things before they happen, the way you feel the spiritual climate in a room shift, the way you discern truth even when hidden beneath layers. These are not coincidences. They are signs of calling. You are a spiritual trailblazer. You are the one who steps first into unfamiliar territory so that fear loses its power for those behind you. You are the one who hears God's whispers before they become thunder. The one heaven prepares in private long before public recognition comes. Carrying a mantle means loneliness at times. But understand, this loneliness is not the absence of people, it is the presence of assignment. When God sets you apart, He often must separate you for a season so you can hear Him clearly. Isolation becomes incubation. What felt like abandonment was actually alignment, God positioning you for the role He always intended. Take heart. Chosen one, you are not walking into this mantle empty-handed. You carry scars that have become wisdom, tears that have become strength, breakings that have become understanding. The very things you thought disqualified you have become the reason heaven can trust you. Only those who have walked through fire can carry flame safely. And soon, others will feel the warmth of the fire you carry. They will draw near, seeking guidance, seeking hope, seeking direction. Not because you are perfect, but because you are authentic, because your journey reflects the fingerprints of God. This mantle will stretch you, but it will also elevate you. It will demand more of you, but it will reward you with clarity, favor, and spiritual authority. You will speak, and atmospheres will shift. You will pray, and chains will break. You will walk, and the ground beneath you will respond. Chosen one, step into it without fear. The mantle has already been placed. Heaven sees you. Angels surround you. Purpose guides you. The fire within you is not accidental, it is inherited from the throne. There is a sacred rhythm woven into creation. Chosen one numbers, patterns, echoes that speak even when words are absent. Heaven has always used symbols to guide those who are listening. And in this season of awakening, the language of numbers becomes one of the clearest ways God confirms His movement in your life. You have already begun noticing it repeating digits, divine coincidences, patterns that follow you no matter where you turn. These are not accidents. They are spiritual codes, reminders that you are walking in alignment with heaven's design. As the ancient texts reveal in the book of Daniel, chapter 2, verse 22, He reveals deep and secret things. He knows what is in the darkness, and the light dwelleth with him. That is exactly what is happening now, hidden things being revealed, mysteries unfolding in subtle but unmistakable ways. Heaven is shining light upon the patterns that lead you toward your destiny. And the clearer your spirit becomes, the more you recognize these divine signals. Numbers like 1111, 222, 333, or 888 may have caught your eye lately. You may glance at a clock at the exact same time repeatedly, or notice the same sequence appearing in receipts, license plates, or messages. These are heaven's nudges, gentle touches on your awareness, reminding you that your steps are ordered. The world may call them coincidences, but you know better. They are spiritual fingerprints. Each number carries meaning. Some represent new beginnings. Others symbolize divine completion. Some announce deliverance, while others speak of favor and restoration. Heaven uses them to draw your attention back to the spiritual realm, reminding you that you are not walking blindly, you are being guided. Chosen one, this is not superstition. This is synchronization. When your spirit aligns with heaven, you begin to see what others overlook. Numbers become confirmations. Patterns become prophecies. Even the smallest details start to hum with purpose. You may feel your sensitivity increasing, your inner awareness sharpened, your discernment deepening. This is evidence that heaven is preparing you for your next elevation. Those numbers are not random, they are the spiritual pulse of your journey. Think back, how many times did you see a repeated number right when you were uncertain? How many times did that subtle pattern show up when you were praying for direction? Heaven has been speaking, not just through whispers and dreams, but through the very fabric of time itself. This alignment is not common. It is a sign that you are awakening to your identity as God's chosen vessel. The more aware you become, the more heaven reveals. What once felt small now feels significant. What once seemed ordinary now glows with divine intention. Some numbers signal preparation. Others signal completion. Some tell you to pause, reflect, and listen. Others tell you to move, act, and step boldly into your calling. The numbers you've been noticing are heaven's coded messages, markers along your path saying, "You're in the right place. This is the moment. Don't stop now." And now, as this chapter of your journey unfolds, heaven calls you to respond. Not because God needs your comment, but because the act itself is prophetic. A declaration, a stamp of agreement. When you speak in alignment with heaven's message, you activate what has been spoken. So, chosen one, as a sign of alignment and agreement, type the number 555 in the comments. This number symbolizes divine transition and heaven's active movement in your life. It represents grace multiplied, change accelerated, and breakthrough nearing. When you write it, you are declaring, "I'm ready for the shift. I align with heaven's timing. I receive what God is preparing." Do not underestimate this act. Your comment is not random, it is a spiritual signature. It marks your willingness to step into the next chapter. It tells heaven, "I recognize the signs, I hear the voice, I accept the calling." And even as you type it, something within you will stir. A knowing, a warmth, a subtle shift, because your spirit recognizes truth before your mind fully understands it. Chosen one, you are walking through a season where heaven speaks constantly. Through dreams, through whispers, through people, and yes, through numbers. These signs are not given to everyone. They are given to those with awakened spirits and chosen hearts. You are not imagining the patterns. You are not accidentally aligned. You are being guided. You are being prepared. You are being positioned. And the numbers are simply heaven's way of saying you are moving in the right direction. Do not stop. The breakthrough is near. Walk forward with confidence. Heaven is still speaking, and you, chosen one, are finally hearing. Resistance always rises before reward. Chosen one. It is the law of the Spirit. The pressure intensifies right before the promise breaks forth. You may have noticed it already, the sudden heaviness in the air, the unexpected emotions, the old fears trying to whisper their way back in. This is not regression. It is a sign that you are standing at the threshold of fulfillment. The enemy fights hardest when he knows he is running out of time. Heaven speaks clearly through the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 31, verse 6. Be strong and of a good courage, fear not, nor be afraid of them, for the Lord thy God, he it is that goes with thee, he will not fail thee nor forsake thee. This verse is not just comfort, it is your armor. It is the truth you must carry into this moment of resistance. Because what you are feeling now is not defeat, it is spiritual friction. A sign that you are moving forward. A sign that old chains are reacting to the fact that they are about to snap. The darkness you sense around you is not winning, it is trembling. Chosen one. The closer you come to breakthrough, the louder the noise becomes. Doubts try to rise, old memories replay, shadows try to regain their shape. This is the test before the transformation. Heaven is not testing your strength. Heaven is proving your maturity. The version of you that stands before the promise must be stronger, steadier, and sharper than the version who began this journey. This resistance is refining you. It is sharpening your discernment. It is teaching you to trust the whisper of God over the roar of fear. Every time you push forward despite the pressure, you are training your spirit to walk by faith, not by sight. Faith developed in resistance becomes unshakable. It becomes the kind of faith that moves mountains instead of being moved by them. You must understand spiritual resistance is not a sign that you are off course. It is confirmation that you are right on track. The things trying to rise up against you are reacting to the light you carry. Darkness fights what threatens its territory. And your obedience, your awakening, your growing clarity, they threaten every stronghold that once felt secure. This is why emotional waves may come out of nowhere. One moment you feel confident, the next you feel attacked. One moment you feel peace, the next irritation surfaces for no reason. These fluctuations are not weaknesses, they are symptoms of spiritual shifting. Heaven is elevating you and everything around you is being forced to adjust. But the most important truth is this: resistance does not have authority over you. It can roar, but it cannot rule. It can press, but it cannot prevail. The grace that has carried you this far is stronger than the fear trying to pull you back. The anointing resting on you is heavier than the burdens trying to rise. Remember how far you've come. Think of the battles you survived. Situations that once would have broken you now barely shake you. You have grown. You have matured. You have changed. What used to terrify you now only tests you, and what used to test you now trains you. You are spiritually stronger than you realize. Resistance comes to reveal strength, not weakness. When you feel the pressure, speak to it not with fear but with authority. You are no longer the person who suffers in silence. You are the one who walks boldly toward destiny. The one who knows that spiritual warfare is not a sign to retreat but a sign to advance. And do not forget, resistance also reveals what cannot go with you. Some people will distance themselves. Some habits will suddenly feel uncomfortable. Some environments will lose their appeal. This is heaven pruning your path. The closer you get to destiny, the narrower the road becomes. Only what aligns with your next season will remain. Everything else must fall away. Chosen one. The resistance is temporary, but the reward is eternal. What you are walking into will outshine every moment of pressure you've endured. The promise will make you forget the pain. The clarity will silence the confusion. The breakthrough will redeem the battle. So breathe deeply. Steady yourself. Lift your head. You were built for this moment. Heaven knew the weight you would carry, and heaven equipped you long before the battle began. You are not fighting alone. You are surrounded, strengthened, covered, guided. The resistance may be loud, but your purpose is louder. The pressure may be real, but your calling is stronger. The battle may be intense, but your victory is guaranteed. Move forward. Chosen one. The reward is nearer than your fear, closer than your doubt, and stronger than your resistance. There are realms, chosen one, where human voices fall silent and only eternal truth is spoken. Tonight you stand before one of those realms, the courtroom of heaven. This is not imagination. This is not metaphor. This is divine reality. When God begins to shift a life, He does so through verdicts, decrees, and judgments rendered in the unseen before they manifest in the natural. And right now, the courtroom of heaven is in session concerning you. This is why the atmosphere around you has felt heavy at times, why your spirit sensed tension even when your mind couldn't explain it. Courtrooms are not places of noise, they are places of evaluation, decision, and destiny. Heaven has been reviewing your case, weighing your battles, examining your tears, and measuring the intentions of every heart connected to your journey. Nothing has gone unnoticed. Nothing has been ignored. As revealed in the book of Job, chapter 22, verse 28. Thou shalt also decree a thing, and it shall be established unto thee, and the light shall shine upon thy ways. This scripture is not merely a promise, it is a legal principle. In the courts of heaven, words carry the weight of law. Decrees become realities. Truth becomes manifestation. When God's verdict is spoken, no opposition, spiritual or earthly, can overturn it. Chosen one. The battles you faced were not random assaults. They were accusations brought against your destiny. The enemy is called the accuser for a reason. He presents lies, distortions, and memories of your past in hopes of limiting your future. He tries to use your mistakes as evidence against your calling. But what he fails to understand is that grace always speaks louder. Mercy always carries greater authority. And the blood of Christ silences every accusation once and for all. In this divine courtroom, your tears have become testimony. Your endurance has become evidence. Your obedience has become your legal standing. Heaven has examined the seasons you pushed forward despite fear, the moments you forgave when bitterness called your name, the ways you continued to believe even when disappointment sat on your chest like stone. These acts, quiet, unseen, but pure, carry more weight in the courts of heaven than you could ever imagine. And now, the verdict is being spoken: favor, vindication, restoration, realignment, release. This is why so many things have begun shifting around you. People suddenly reveal their true intentions. Hidden motives become clear. Relationships that once seemed solid begin to fade. Opportunities close and new ones appear out of nowhere. None of this is random. Heaven's court has issued a verdict, and the earthly realm is adjusting to match it. Sometimes this adjustment feels like loss. Sometimes it feels like confusion. Sometimes it feels like the ground is shifting beneath your feet. But you must understand, before God elevates a person, He always exposes the environment around them. He reveals what cannot continue forward. He separates truth from deception, loyalty from convenience, alignment from attachment. In the courtroom of heaven, justice and mercy kiss. Everything that was unfair, every betrayal, every moment of rejection, heaven has weighed them. And now repayment is being released. Restoration is coming in measures that will exceed your pain. Where you were wronged, you will be elevated. Where you were overlooked, you will be highlighted. Where you were silenced, you will be given voice. Chosen one, heaven is not only defending you, heaven is vindicating you. The things done against you in darkness will be overturned in light. The people who misjudged you will witness your rise. The areas where you felt powerless will become places of authority. God's ruling cannot be appealed, and you must also understand this when heaven issues a verdict. Resistance often intensifies, not because the verdict is uncertain, but because the enemy senses he has lost legal ground and fights harder out of desperation. The confusion, the strange emotions, the dreams, the sudden fatigue, it is spiritual pushback against a verdict already sealed. But pushback does not equal power. It is the final ripple before the tide turns completely. The stand firm, stand steady, stand aware. The judge who sits on the throne has ruled in your favor. The gavel has fallen. The angels assigned to your destiny have received their orders. What was once held back is being released. What was once tangled is being untied. What was once blocked is being opened. Soon, you will see on earth what has already been declared in heaven. Breakthrough, justice, clarity, elevation. There is a moment, chosen one, when what was hidden in the shadows of your journey begins to rise into the light. When the seeds you planted in seasons of silence push through the soil and become undeniable. You are stepping into that moment now, the moment of public confirmation. The very things heaven has whispered to you in quiet places are about to be seen, recognized, and acknowledged. Not because you sought attention, but because God intends to reveal what He has been building within you. As spoken in the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 1, "Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord rises." You, chosen one, are that city. Set, not hidden. Elevated, not forgotten. Positioned, not overlooked. The calling within you has reached a point where staying unseen is no longer possible. The light in your spirit has grown too bright to stay tucked away in the corners of quiet seasons. Heaven is lifting the veil. There will be people who look at you now and wonder where this strength came from, where this confidence came from, where this clarity, this boldness, this purpose suddenly emerged. They will not understand that it was not sudden, it was shaped, molded, refined in the nights of tears and the days of quiet obedience. Public confirmation is never about ego, it is about assignment. When God elevates you, it is not to feed pride, but to extend impact. You become a lantern in halls where others wander in darkness. You become a well in deserts where others thirst. You become a living testimony of transformation, proof that God still lifts, still restores, still calls ordinary people into extraordinary destiny. But hear this, when God reveals you publicly, He also expands your responsibility. You hold influence now, even if you do not see it yet. People watch the way you move, the way you speak, the way you endure. Your breakthrough becomes someone else's blueprint. Your rise becomes someone else's reason to hold on. That is why this moment matters. That is why heaven is preparing you not only to be seen, but to stand firm, humble, radiant, anchored. Think of a lighthouse standing on a cliff. It does not chase ships. It simply shines. It does not force its light. It simply stands tall and lets its glow guide those lost at sea. That is what your life will become, a steady glow in a world full of storms. a reminder that even wounded hearts can carry holy fire. But as your light rises, this message, the one you're reading right now, becomes part of the fuel. Every word that strengthens you, every moment that lifts your spirit becomes a spark that keeps the fire burning. If these messages have guided you, comforted you, or awakened something inside you, then let your heart respond with gratitude that moves. Engage with this message the way someone tends to a fire, adding wood so the flame does not fade. Click like as a way of saying, I receive this truth. Share it as if extending a lifeline to someone who may not have the strength to reach for help. Subscribe so that this stream of revelation continues to meet you right where you need it, again and again. And if your spirit feels prompted, consider donating, not out of pressure, but out of purpose. Think of it like pouring oil into a lamp that has guided you through the dark. Your support becomes part of the light that reaches others who are silently breaking, silently hoping, silently waiting for a word that could save them. You are not funding a screen. You are fueling a sanctuary. And don't forget to comment your words. Carry weight. They are more than reactions, they are testimonies. When you share what resonated, what stirred you, what awakened inside you, it becomes a spark for someone else reading quietly, afraid to speak. Your reflection could be the whisper that pulls someone out of despair. Chosen one. This moment of public confirmation is not an ending. It is an unveiling. Heaven is positioning you in places where your voice, your presence, and your journey will matter more than you know. People who dismissed you will witness your elevation. Environments that once restricted you will no longer contain you. The world will see what heaven has always known: you were chosen for such a time as this. And through it all, remember to stay anchored in gratitude. Stay grounded in humility. Stay fueled by purpose. You are stepping into a season where God will use you as a living letter read by many, understood by some, and treasured by those who recognize the fingerprints of God upon your life. Rise boldly, chosen one. The spotlight of heaven is upon you, and the world is about to see the light that has been forming within you all along. When the shift comes, chosen one, it rarely arrives with thunder. More often, it enters quietly, like the gentle tremor that moves through the ground before a great wave rises. You may already feel it now, a subtle recalibration in your spirit, a realignment in your thoughts, a strange calm settling over places that once felt chaotic. This is the aftershock of obedience, the spiritual resonance that follows every yes you've given to God. After the shaking, after the pruning, after the battles that stretched your soul thin, heaven now begins to settle everything into divine order. The pieces that once felt scattered begin to find their place. The burdens that felt too heavy begin to lift almost without effort. The internal storms that roared within you now begin to quiet. Not because the world has changed, but because you have. We are reminded through the ancient words written in the book of James, chapter 1, verse 12. Blessed is the man who endures temptation, for when tried, he shall receive the crown of life. This is the essence of the aftershock you endured. You listened, you obeyed, and now your spirit steps into a new configuration. One heaven has been shaping patiently behind the scenes. When God brings you through a transformation, the first evidence is not external, it is internal. Your thoughts become clearer. Your peace becomes deeper. Your discernment becomes sharper. You begin to see yourself differently. Not through the lens of pain, but through the clarity of promise. The enemy's whispers lose their sting. The past loses its power. The doubts that once shouted now barely murmur. This is the divine recalibration of your soul. Heaven is realigning your inner world so that your outer world can begin to shift. You cannot carry new glory with old patterns. You cannot step into purpose while thinking like the person you used to be. The aftershock is heaven rewriting your internal structure, your beliefs, your identity, your expectations so you can hold what is coming next. Chosen one, you may notice that familiar temptations no longer pull you the way they once did. Old fears don't grip you with the same force. Conversations that used to drain you now feel irrelevant. This is because the frequency of your spirit has changed. You have risen whether you realized it or not. And what once resonated with your old self can no longer reach the altitude of your new self. This is the season where God makes your heart steady. After the intense spiritual battles, after emotional waves and mental warfare, God brings rest, not the rest of sleep, but the rest of certainty. A grounding, a knowing, a settledness deep in your bones. You begin to sense that you are exactly where you are meant to be, even if the path ahead is not fully visible. Do not be surprised if your desires begin to change too. You may feel drawn to environments, activities, or conversations that nourish your spirit rather than drain it. Purpose begins to take precedence over pleasure. Depth begins to matter more than distraction. This is another sign of realignment. Your heart is tuning itself to heaven's frequency. There is also a holy sensitivity that awakens in the aftershock. You begin to sense things before they manifest. You feel the direction of God more quickly. You are more aware of peace and more disturbed by anything that disrupts it. This is not emotional fragility, it is spiritual maturity. Heaven sharpens the senses of those who will carry significant assignments. And remember this, after every spiritual elevation, there is a brief period of silence. This silence is not absence, it is settling. Think of a snow globe shaken violently. When the shaking stops, the flakes don't freeze instantly. They drift slowly into their new position. That is what your spirit is experiencing now. You are settling into the next version of yourself. Chosen one. In this aftershock, clarity will come. Solutions will rise. Ideas will spark. Doors will open with surprising ease. But all of this begins after your spirit first accepts the new level God has brought you into. Internal acceptance always precedes external manifestation. Heaven is also rearranging your connections. Not dramatically, not abruptly, but quietly. You will notice who brings peace and who interrupts it, who resonates with your calling and who resists it, who grows with you and who settles where you used to be. The aftershock reveals alignment. This stage is sacred, and it is the space between the ending and the unfolding. The moment where your spirit exhales and God whispers, "Now watch what I do next." Stand in this moment without rushing. Don't force clarity and don't chase answers. Don't run ahead of grace. Let the aftershock settle you. Let heaven finish its internal work. Everything outside you will shift in perfect timing. You obeyed, and obedience always brings alignment. You surrendered, and surrender always brings strength. You endured, and endurance always brings elevation. Chosen one, the aftershock is not the end. It is the holy stillness before the unveiling. There comes a moment, chosen one, when all the threads of your journey, every battle, every breakthrough, every whispered prayer begin to weave themselves into a picture you can finally understand. You stand in that moment now. This is where destiny crystallizes, where identity becomes undeniable, where calling stops being a distant echo and becomes the very rhythm of your soul. You are rising into who you were always meant to be. For so long, you saw glimpses, moments of clarity followed by moments of doubt. Seasons where you felt chosen, followed by seasons where you questioned everything. But now the fog has lifted. Now the whisper has become a voice. Now the stirring has become a flame. Everything in your spirit confirms the truth heaven has been speaking over you since the beginning. You are God's chosen one, not by accident, not by coincidence, by divine appointment. As was spoken in the first book of Peter, chapter 2, verse 9. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of him who hath called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. This verse is not simply encouragement, it is identity. It reveals the truth that has been following you, shaping you, and calling you forward even when you doubted your worth. You were called out of darkness not just to survive, but to shine. You were rescued not just to stand, but to lead. You were chosen not just for battle, but for glory. Chosen one. Now begins the season where you step fully into the role heaven has prepared for you. You will no longer shrink to fit old spaces. You will no longer apologize for your light. You will no longer dim yourself to make others comfortable. The mantle resting on you is undeniable now. You carry authority, not human authority, but spiritual authority. The authority of someone who has walked through valleys, climbed mountains, and survived storms meant to break you. This authority is forged, not gifted. It was shaped in your tears, tempered in your trials, strengthened in your surrender. You didn't inherit it cheaply, you paid for it with endurance and obedience. That is why heaven trusts you with influence. You are not reckless with purpose. You know the cost of calling. Now watch what happens as you rise. Your voice will carry weight. People will listen when you speak, not because of volume, but because of truth. Your presence will shift atmospheres. Rooms will feel lighter, calmer, clearer when you enter. Discouraged hearts will rise when they encounter your strength. Confused minds will find clarity through your wisdom. You will become a living signpost pointing others to hope they thought they had lost. And yet, your rising will not be loud or boastful. It will be steady, grounded, and sacred. Like the sunrise, not rushing, not forcing, but undeniable. Darkness can neither stop nor argue with dawn. It simply must fade. Those who doubted you will wonder how you rose so far, so fast. But they will never understand the nights you wrestled, the prayers you cried, the battles you fought alone. They will see the crown, but not the crushing that shaped it. And that is how it should be. Your elevation will be a quiet testament to the faithfulness of God. Chosen one. The path ahead will not be without challenge, but you will no longer face it as who you were. You will face it as who you have become, as one marked, one anointed, one sealed by heaven. Your steps will carry purpose. Your decisions will carry weight. Your journey will carry impact. Where you go, light will follow. You may feel the shift already, a deeper peace, a stronger confidence, a clearer sense of direction. This is not imagination. This is heaven confirming you have crossed over. The old season is officially behind you. The wilderness has released you. The refining fire has done its work. You are stepping into destiny not as a wanderer, but as a warrior. Not as the wounded, but as the risen, chosen one. This is who you are now, a carrier of fire, a breaker of chains, a bearer of truth, a voice of hope, a vessel of glory. Walk forward with steady steps. Heaven goes with you, grace covers you, favor surrounds you, purpose calls you. Your rise is not a moment, it is a mandate. Your calling is not a title, it is a torch. And your story is not ending, it is unfolding. You are the chosen one. Now walk like it. Chosen one, as this journey of words comes to a close, let your spirit remain open, for heaven is not finished speaking. What you have walked through in these 17 sections was not just narrative, it was activation. Each message awakened a different part of you, your awareness, your courage, your discernment, your obedience, your identity. These were not pages, they were thresholds. Pause now, breathe deeply, and feel the stillness settling inside you. That calm is not the absence of movement, it is the presence of alignment. Heaven has completed a shift within you. You are no longer standing where you were when you began. Something has expanded, something has awakened, something has settled into place. Carry this awareness into your days. Walk with a steady heart. Let your choices reflect your transformation. Let your thoughts echo the truth spoken over you. Let your spirit remain sensitive to the whispers of God. You have crossed into a new chapter, and though life may feel familiar on the outside, everything is different within you. And remember, transformation is not a moment, but a rhythm. Keep listening, keep discerning, keep rising. Heaven does not awaken a chosen one only to let them fade back into silence. You have been ignited, marked, and equipped. When the days ahead feel heavy, return to these words. When doubt tries to cloud your vision, revisit the truth spoken. When the world tries to pull you back into old patterns, stand firm in who you have become. This journey has shaped you, strengthened you, set you apart. And now, chosen one, walk forward. Not with fear, but with fire.